Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love vintage audio as much as I do, you are in for a treat. In today's video, we are diving into the Pioneer SA-8800 Mark II, a rare gem from the 1976. Originally built for the Japanese market, it's almost identical to SA-8500 Mark II, which came out in Europe a few years later, around 77-79. So if you got 8500 Mark II and you are planning to restore it, then you are in the right place. At the end of the day, they share the same design and most of the same components, so just follow along with me. Actually, I started this project during the COVID lockdown. Did most of the recapping and part replacement back then, but it took almost 2 years to complete because of the global semiconductor shortage. This clip's being recorded between 2021 and 2023 using different cameras, so I apologize in advance for a bit of a time travel. To make things worse, some of the recording was deleted, so I did my best to capture most of it, so hopefully it makes sense. Anyway, in this first episode, we will focus on the tone control board, a crucial part of shaping that warm and analog Pioneer sound, along with the volume control section. Plenty more to come in this restoration series, so stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and let's bring this classic back to life. There we go, quick sneak peek of the inside. Looks completely original, untouched. My plan is to start restoring the tone control board, full recap, then clean the controls. Some of these are noisy, some stiff to rotate, particularly this one, the bass knob almost stuck. So they need a good clean. Placed the order for the green dioxide can, so while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to start with the recap. Removing the board is pretty straightforward, just 3 screws holding there. I want to show you something very quickly. Take a look at these 2 caps on the foil side of the board. This is one of the few noticeable difference between the 8500 and 8800 Mark II. They had revised the design to fit 2 of those caps on top side of the board along with other components, which is cool, so you won't find anything underneath if you have 8500, right? Now, in terms of replacements, I went for 2 types of capacitors. For the low noise orange caps, the ones in the audio signal path, use these Silmic 2 premium grade audio caps from Elna. Highly regarded and respected for their smooth, warm sound signature. Sadly, they're no longer in production today. And for these 425, use UKZ, top of the line premium audio grade capacitors from Nishikon. I mean, just take a look at the finish. It's very well made, high quality. Again, discontinued and no longer in production today. Obviously made in Japan, which is not the case for Elna, by the way. See this one? This is from Thailand. This one is from Malaysia. So I did some research and wanted to find out why Nishikon suddenly stopped and some other series altogether. Well, it seems they cannot find the raw materials anymore. Apparently they were not satisfied with the quality of the replacement material they found. Then they simply stopped making them. You know, that shows how much these guys care about quality before profits, right? Anyway, what we can do today, maybe Nishikon UPM or UPW, even Panasonic FC, and for the Elna, film caps like Vima or Nishikon UKL series. While we're waiting for the transistors, I'm going to clean these controls with Dioxit F5. This one is specially made to clean potentiometers like these bass and treble controls with carbon tracks. And for the turnover switches like this one, I'm going to use the red can. They are not noisy, by the way, but this will clean any build-up on the contacts. So starting with the tone control on and off switch, just a couple of short sprays, then work the switch up and down as many times as you can. I mean, if you don't have the F5 version, many people use the red can and nobody complains about it. Because I have both of them, why not use F5, right? Quick update, the things didn't go as I planned. The base pot turned out to be a bit of a troublemaker. Even after the spray, it is still pretty stiff. So the plan is to remove and see if I can get better access from underneath. Now you see, this is what I'm talking about. You have more exposure from this side. Let's give it another go. Much better. This stuff is amazing, it works all the time. Alright, everything's clean, reassembled, and working smoothly again. So ready to move on. Next thing on the list is to clean this control. It makes static noises, crackling, so it needs a good clean. Quite straightforward to take it out. Holding by this screw, mounting nut, I would say. So the plan is to unsolder all the wires, take the whole thing apart and clean it with Dioxit, right? But be careful though, these wires feel fragile, dried out. I mean, what you can expect. This thing closing 50 years now, so take it easy when you're playing this with these cables. Also make sure to take notes of the wiring or pictures, whatever works for you. I'm going to do both just in case. Okay, I might need to change my plan here. I was thinking to take this apart, clean it properly, but when you pull these modules, feel like something holding in place, almost stuck. So not sure what's going on, to be honest, but it's very hard to find a replacement nowadays, so I don't want to force too much and potentially break the whole thing. Okay, here's my workaround. There was a protective paper which I removed. You see some of the bits still there. Guess it's helped preventing dust going inside. You see, since I removed the nuts, it's flexible to move the modules around now. Let's pull this little bit and use the gap, and I'm going to use this gap to spray from here as well. Okay, all done. Put a temp cover, probably not the finishing touch I was expecting, but hey, it's what it is, right? Hopefully I managed to get rid of all the static sound. Let's see. If not, I'll come back and take it from there. Welcome back, guys. Finally, after months of waiting, the SA-992 order has arrived. As you know, I recapped this board and have been listening to it ever since. Honestly, it sounds amazing. So today, my plan is to swap out these transistors. There's nothing actually wrong with the originals. I just want to make the amp a bit more future-proof. Let's see if the upgrades takes things even further. But first, let's quickly talk about one small variance between 8800 and 8500 Mark II, especially if you are restoring 8500. So both models have 4 PNPs and 4 NPNs. However, in this particular model, which is the 8800, the PNPs are 2 SA-726 and the NPNs are 2 SC1313, which is not the case for 8500. So in the 8500, you may come across 2 SA-725 instead of 726, 2 SC1919 instead of 1313. Just heads up, I might be wrong, but at least that's what the manual says, right? But either way, it doesn't really matter. Both have bad reputations. They can cause all sort of troubles, distortion, short noise. So recommendation is to replace them. SA-992, the best substitute for both 725 and 726. So I'm going to start with the PNPs, the ones with the orange dot. In case you are wondering what's that mean, especially for those discovering this hobby, this happened to be very common back in the day on high-end gear, especially on the Pioneer. Sometimes you see blue, red and white, all sort of colors. I believe colors represents specific frequency range. So in a nutshell, we call them matched transistors. SA-992 gone through that process already. That's why you see different patches like FA, FB. So in theory, you don't have to do it, but if you have time and one of these semiconductor tester, you can do it. Okay, as you can see, I already marked the current gain of all of them. Let's take out 4 with the close gain. One more thing before we start. The pin order of the new transistors is different. It goes from emitter, collector, base for both PNPs and NPN versions, which is opposite to the ones in there. What you have to do, just turn around 180 degrees like this. Oops. By the way, do the same when you replace the KSC 1845. Right then, that's it guys for this video. Stay tuned for the part 2. Please like if you enjoyed. So hope this was useful. Thank you so much. Until then, take care.